Yara finally decided she couldn't stay silent any longer. Rumors had been circling for weeks, and her patience had run out. She had heard that Loren had been making comments behind her back, saying things that painted her in a bad light. Tonight, she wanted to end the whispers once and for all. When Yara confronted Loren, her tone was calm but firm. She said, "I've been hearing things, Loren. People say you've been talking about me, making little jokes, even calling me manipulative. I didn't want to believe it, but it's becoming too much. I need to know the truth." Loren didn't back down. She looked directly at Yara and said, "I never said anything that I wouldn't say to your face. But yes, I've made comments because I felt disrespected by you. I'm not going to sit back and pretend everything is perfect when it isn't." Yara's eyes narrowed slightly. "Disrespected? By what? Because I have opinions? Or because I don't always agree with you?" Loren replied, "It's not about opinions. It's about tone, about how you make people feel. Sometimes it feels like you dismiss everyone else and act like your way is always right." That struck a nerve. Yara took a deep breath, trying to keep her composure. "I don't act like I'm better than anyone. I'm confident, yes, but I've worked for everything I have. If that threatens you, that's not my problem." Loren crossed her arms and said, "See, that's exactly what I mean. You make it sound like everyone else is jealous or insecure, instead of listening to what they're saying." Yara shook her head. "No, Loren. What I'm hearing is that you've been spreading negativity about me to other people. That's not honesty, that's gossip. You want to talk to me directly. Don't use other people as your mouthpiece." The tension in the room was thick. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Finally, Loren sighed and said quietly, "If I've said something that hurt you, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. I was frustrated. I felt like you were ignoring me, like you didn't value what I said." Yara's tone softened slightly. "I can accept that. But you have to understand how it feels to hear people repeating things you supposedly said. It's embarrassing. I don't want to fight. I just want to know that I can trust you." Loren nodded. "I get that. Maybe I didn't handle things the right way. I'll try to be more upfront. But you have to meet me halfway too. You can't just shut people out when they disagree with you." Yara smiled faintly. "That's fair. I'll try. But I don't want this back and forth drama anymore. We're supposed to be grown women, not teenagers whispering behind each other's backs." Loren gave a small laugh. "Agreed. But let's be honest, this is 90 Day Fiancé. There's always a little drama." The moment lightened slightly, but the underlying tension was still there. Both women knew that this confrontation might not fix everything, but at least it put the truth on the table. Later, in her private interview, Yara admitted that she still had doubts. "I don't know if Loren was being completely honest. Maybe she apologized because she had to. But I'll give her the benefit of the doubt for now." Meanwhile, Loren also shared her thoughts privately. "I do care about Yara. I don't want to fight with her, but sometimes she doesn't realize how she comes across. I'm not a bad person for saying how I feel." The confrontation between Yara and Loren quickly became one of the most talked about moments of 90 Day Fiancé. Happily ever after, fans took to social media, taking sides and debating who was right. Some felt Yara was justified in standing up for herself, while others thought Loren was being unfairly accused of things that were exaggerated for drama. Entertainment Tonight later released an exclusive preview of the scene, calling it one of the season's most heated showdowns. The tension between two strong personalities created the perfect storm: honesty, pride, and the fear of being misunderstood. Viewers pointed out that Yara often struggles to balance her confidence with empathy, while Loren tends to internalize her emotions until they explode. That combination has been brewing for a while, and this confrontation was the inevitable result. Many fans also noted how this argument revealed something deeper. Both women are under pressure. Loren, as a mother juggling her public image, feels criticized and judged. Yara, on the other hand, feels constantly attacked and misunderstood, especially when people label her as too confident or too cold. When two people feel unheard, every little comment can become a spark for a bigger fire. That's exactly what happened here. What started as small misunderstandings turned into an emotional confrontation that left both women shaken but honest. By the end of the episode, the air between them was still tense, but there was also mutual respect. Yara appreciated that Loren didn't deny everything and offered an apology, while Loren respected Yara for confronting her directly instead of venting to others. The fans are now waiting to see what happens next, whether this fragile peace will last or whether another misunderstanding will tear it apart again. One thing's for sure, this confrontation reminded everyone why 90 Day Fiancé remains one of TLC's most addictive shows. It's not just about love across borders. It's about personalities clashing, truths unfolding, and emotions running high. The Yara and Loren confrontation was raw, uncomfortable, and very real, and that's exactly what keeps fans coming back for more. So, what do you think? Was Yara right to call Loren out, or did she overreact to gossip? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more 90 Day Fiancé updates. It was a reunion of sorts when 90 Day Fiancé stars Sheeta Sween and Loren Brovarnik met up in Miami Beach, Florida, for some good food and good company. Sheeta and her husband, Bilal Hazziez, were recently in Florida and, while in the Sunshine State, met up with some fellow 90 Day Fiancé stars. Sheeta and Bilal joined Loren and her husband, Alexei Brovarnik, at Stiltsville Fish Bar ahead of the weekend. Sheeta shared some photos from their evening on her Instagram. In the first pic, she and Loren posed inside the restaurant for a ladies-only snap, both of them looking gorgeous. Loren wore a sleeveless black romper and styled her hair in a casual updo, accessorizing with a dainty initial necklace and gold hoop earrings. Sheeta opted for a long-sleeved blue wrap dress, shimmery sandals, and a matching hijab. The ladies were all smiles as they put their arms around each other in the photo. A slide right revealed a photo of Sheeta and Loren with their husbands, Bilal and Alexei. Alexei matched his wife, clad in a black t-shirt, black jeans, and white athletic shoes. Bilal looked dapper in a white suit jacket, checkered pants, a blue top, and matching blue shoes. The quartet snapped the photo outside in the lobby of the restaurant, and Sheeta captioned the share, "OMG, it's a 90-day reunion." Oh, one of the highlights of our trip is this right here. "Meeting my sweet momfluencer/friend Loren and her husband Alexei," she continued. "So happy for this friendship. The food was so delicious, the company was even better. Love her." Bilal and Sheeta hail from Kansas City, Missouri, and were in Loren and Alexei's neck of the woods for a quick vacation. While they were in Florida, Sheeta and Bilal also spent some time at South Beach in Miami. Bilal shared a photo of himself and his wife lounging on the sand, and captured the ocean at sunrise. "Good morning. How I miss the sight of the ocean," Bilal captioned his post. "Early morning sunrise? On the beach." Loren and Alexei aren't the first 90 Day Fiancé cast members Sheeta has met up with. Following taping for the Happily Ever After Season 7 Tell All, Sheeta and Yara teamed up for some retail therapy in NYC. Sheeta and Yara later met up with their castmate, Kimberly Menzies, for some fun in the Big Apple. In recent months, Sheeta and Bilal made headlines when they announced they were expecting a baby but then lost the pregnancy. In a post on Mother's Day, Sheeta acknowledged that the day was bittersweet for her. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Star Loren Brovarnik is revealing how she is doing as a Florida resident with Hurricane Milton closing in on the state. Loren used to live in New York when she first starred in 90 Day Fiancé Season 3, and Alexei was moving to the US from Israel on a K-1 visa. Loren couldn't afford the lifestyle of her choice with Alexei in NYC and relocated to Florida where her parents lived. Loren and Alexei have since improved their financial situation greatly and welcomed 3 children, with whom they continued living in the US. However, with the Category 4 storm, which Joe Biden said may be the worst storm to hit Florida in 100 years, expected tonight, Loren's still not ready to leave her home state. Loren's been posting her regular updates on Instagram as she promotes a romper that's on sale and a 3-wick candle everyone has been asking her about on Instagram. Loren shared a picture of a dark, stormy sky and thanked everyone who had reached out to her, concerned about Loren and her family's safety. Loren told them, "We are fully prepared and will keep you updated." Loren has been stocking up on healthy snacks, which she will have with her family while they are going to be home for a few days. Apart from talking about her new roasted seaweed snack obsession, Loren has also been channeling her inner Martha Stewart and making treats like yogurt banana bites with chocolates and sprinkles. Loren doesn't want her kids to be scared as they confine themselves to the 4 corners of their home. She's trying to convince her children that they are going to be safe. She even took them to the park where they played on a slide. Meanwhile, Jovi Diffrin and Yara Zaya, who recently moved to Miami, posted stories about them evacuating their space with their daughter Mila. However, Loren has no such plans. As Hurricane Milton prepares to create havoc in Florida counties as it closes in on the state, Loren will be inside her house and doesn't seem to be worried about it having the potential to be one of the most destructive hurricanes on record. Loren should be staying updated with the hurricane watches and warnings issued by the National Hurricane Center and has taken the decision not to venture outdoors for safety. Loren has lived in the area long enough to know what she needs to do in case of an emergency. Loren, who became a stay-at-home mom after the birth of her second child, has dedicated her life to taking care of her kids and will make sure she does everything in her might to ensure their safety. With doting dad Alexei by her side, the couple have never taken any decisions that would put their family at risk. Loren's supporters have been with her through thick and thin and have been sending her prayers and asking Loren to stay safe. In an update that Loren shared on her Instagram stories a few hours later, the 90-Day Fiancé star shared a video from her backyard with a palm tree swaying in the wind. Loren told her followers that the winds were picking up and that it was going to rain soon. She assured her fans that they were prepared and that they would see how it goes. Loren thanked her fans for supporting her and sending her and her family love. Her latest stories on Instagram were pictures of Loren's children sleeping soundly on their couch. Loren captioned her story, "I feel this," suggesting she wanted to be able to rest like her children instead of being worried about the hurricane. She added, "I wish I could nap like this," in a different slide which showed her sons fast asleep under cozy blankets. Loren had again managed to prove she made the right decision by deciding not to leave her house even under dangerous circumstances. However, there's still a chance that Loren's lighthearted update as the hurricane tracks away from Florida could be taken the wrong way. Florida residents have been told to get out of Milton's path. They have been warned to finish their storm preparations and evacuate. A landfall has been predicted for late Wednesday, and the entirety of Florida's western coast will be in danger. Loren's prepared for the devastating storm in her own way. It could give Loren's critics another reason to call her out and ask for her cancellation from the show. Loren had irked her fans with her recent superiority complex, her decision to get surgery when it wasn't needed, and her content, which has become boring with the same kind of mirror selfies. 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Follows fan-favorite couples as they adjust to life after marriage and face the real challenges that come with saying, "I do." Season 9 brings back plenty of familiar faces, reality TV veterans that have been part of the TLC franchise for years. One such couple is Jovi Diffrin and Yara Zaya, who made their debut on Season 8 of 90-Day Fiancé. The pair has faced their fair share of ups and downs, from Jovi's partying habits to Yara's immigration journey and the arrival of their daughter Mila. The family of three have moved from New Orleans to Miami, with Yara surprising Jovi with a new addition to the family. Season 9 of 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Reintroduces viewers to Ukrainian native Yara Zaya, New Orleans native Jovi Diffrin, and their young daughter, Mila. Starting a new chapter, the married couple relocated to Miami, Florida, after Yara had expressed her distaste for living in New Orleans. As the couple get accustomed to living in a brand new city, Yara has a big surprise for Jovi. Picking him up from the airport, Yara tells Jovi to stay put before heading into the car. Yara then turns around and reveals a small brown puppy tucked inside the orange bag strapped across her chest. She tells Jovi that their daughter Mila named the puppy Mila, adding with a smile, "She wanted to name her Mila, by the way." Jovi admits that he isn't surprised at his wife bringing a dog home, but did share that he was not ready to have the responsibility of taking care of a pet. "I didn't expect to come home with a pet," he tells her. Yara then proceeds to tell Jovi in Russian that she doesn't speak English. In a confessional, Jovi shares his true frustrations with getting a pet, expressing that he would love it if Yara focused on having another child instead. 90-Day Fiancé stars Jovi Diffrin and Yara Zaya have been through ups and downs in their marriage. One of their main issues was Jovi's addiction to strip clubs. Their struggles resulted in their appearance in the first season of 90-Day, The Last Resort. According to some, it just shows how far their issues have come that they needed special therapy to save their marriage. But Yara recently took to social media to say that a new baby also saved their marriage. Jovi and Yara's 90-day, the last resort story went smoothly despite Yara feeling nervous about the therapy. They've laid out many issues they faced as a married couple. One of them was about how Jovi's mom often meddles in their marriage and is always included when they make big decisions, which is something Yara didn't like. The married couple also had issues with honesty. Yara also opened up about how she doesn't like Jovi leaving for work, and it takes months for him to come back. It's clear that their problems were not as chaotic as the other couples from the spin-off, but it almost tore their marriage apart. Fortunately, they came up with a solution to fix their marriage. One of them includes a better form of communication. In an Instagram post, Yara Zaya shared photos and clips from their trip to Isla Bella Beach Resort, which is the same place where she and Jovi Different fixed their marriage. The 90-day Fiancé star then introduced their new baby, "Meet the newest member of our family. We're so excited to introduce you to Mila." Mila, named her Mila Yara, also said that her daughter is over the moon with their new baby. Jovi Different and Yara Zaya are some of the most entertaining TLC couples on social media today. Despite having no projects with the network, the two continue to keep their followers smiling with their IG skits. Last month, the 90-day Fiancé star made headlines after dressing up as Sarper Guven and Shekinah Garner for Halloween. They have also been thriving as social media influencers and often document their travels around the world. Yara Zaya from 90-day Fiancé recently began working with a new company that may be a pyramid scheme. Originally from Ukraine, Yara moved to the United States on a K-1 visa sponsored by Jovi Different. Despite facing compatibility issues, they tied the knot in February 2020 in Las Vegas. A few months later, they had their first child, a daughter named Mila. Despite being married for 5 years, I'm surprised that Yara and Jovi's relationship is far from perfect. In 2023, they appeared in 90 Day, the last resort season 1 to address their marital problems.